So, welcome to Ready for the Weekend episode 10 here on the Play Sports YouTube channel, where myself and Kev run through this weekend's must-see sporting action and offer up our predictions. This week, not quite as eventful as the week before. We have Euros action, Copa America action, 2 rugby games, and then we wrap it up with a big rivalry game in the Vitality Blast. So, hope you enjoy. Okay, so we start things this week with the first of the Euros quarterfinals as Belgium take on Italy. Belgium beat Portugal 1-0 in the first knockout round with their only shot on target, but had 2 major casualties in the course of the game, losing both De Bruyne and Hazard, who they both confirmed will be out of this game, but should they qualify, possibly will be available for the semi-final. Italy, on the other hand, they're very much media darlings at the moment, playing high pressing football, very entertaining. Only conceded 1 goal since October 2020, and that was against Austria in the last round. They're now tied favourites for the tournament with Spain. With France getting knocked out already, they have a really good chance of advancing through that side of the draw. Haven't had the toughest of challenges so far in the tournament, but you can only beat who's put in front of you, so they've done that convincingly. And history people like to bring up, Italy have never lost to Belgium in a tournament. They've won 3 and drew once. Hosted in Munich, so neither team really has a home advantage. Belgium have had a ridiculous travel schedule this tournament. I think only Wales had a worse one. And the winner of this will play either Spain or Switzerland in the semi-final, so still you would expect the winner of this game to advance to the final. I'm going to take Italy here. I think they've looked by far the better side of these two. Be an interesting matchup, but I think the Italians will get the job done over the course of the game, and I'm going to say 2-1.
Next in the Euro campaign, we have Italy versus Belgium. Probably the most exciting game in the quarterfinals. Italy and Belgium have been doing very, very good. Won all their games so far. It's going to be a very, very close call to pinpoint who will win this match. Italy probably one to stand out more in the campaign. Only conceded 1 goal since October 2020. Probably have a slight more advantage as Belgium are missing their 2 star players, Kevin De Bruyne and Eden Hazard. But even so, Belgium still has a very dominant squad. I don't think they actually needed even Hazard that much over the last couple of games. It's going to be a very close call, but I might give Italy a 1-0 win. It's going to be very, very close, but throughout this campaign, you can very hard to predict these matches. It can go anywhere, so I'm going to stick to a safe 1-0, but we'll see how that goes.
Okay, so next up we are sticking with football and we're going over to the Copa America as their quarterfinals are running simultaneously as well. Brazil versus Chile is the game we've picked here, basically because Chile have been my favourite team to watch this summer. They're they're not the most attacking side on the planet, but they are scrappy as humanly possible and quite fun to watch. Brazil, top Group B, 3 wins, 1 draw, only draws to Ecuador where they rested most of their first team players. Chile, despite looking defensively really solid and competitive in pretty much every game they played, finished 4th in their group, just getting into the next round. Won 1 game, drew 2, lost 1. Low scoring, but don't concede too many either. Very much lacking a major goal threat with Alexis Sanchez missing. Brazil obviously have home advantage with the tournament, even though games are going to be behind closed doors, so there's maybe no real advantage to it outside of just familiar conditions and maybe a home dressing room. Both teams have a top scorer on 2 goals. This hasn't been a tournament blessed with attacking, flair and finesse as you would think with a South American tournament. Very much been scrappy, tactical battles and high intensity with very, very little in offer in the way of goal-scoring extravaganzas. Still here, as much as I love this Chilean side, I think this is as far as they go. Without the major goal threat, I don't see them really getting past a Brazil team that haven't really been as attacking as you would like. And I'm going to guess here that Brazil take in a scrappy 1-0 win.
In the Copa America, we have Brazil versus Chile. Bit of a contrast in this quarterfinal to the Italy and Belgium quarterfinal. Brazil dominated their group stage, nearly winning all but 1 draw in their group. and then we have Chile, who came fourth out of fifth in the table. Looked pretty dominant, draw with Argentina, and also got a win, but unfortunately their draw against Uruguay and lost 2-0 against Paraguay set them down a little bit. I would say Brazil, because they've been so dominant, lots of goals in their previous games. That's why I don't think it's going to be that close. I think it's going to be like a 3-0 win for Brazil. Not only their Copa America, but their previous World Cup qualifier games beforehand. So yeah, I think Brazil are going to go dominate this game pretty much.
Okay, so part one of our rugby double header here as Ireland take on Japan. Japan, who were over anyway, facing off against the Lions last week. They come over to the Aviva as part of the Vodafone Summer Series. It'll be a tri-series with Ireland, Japan and the USA. Japan coming off a 28-10 loss against the Lions, but it really wasn't one they were expected to win. It was very much a friendly warm-up game for the Lions team as they head off to South Africa, and then a chance for Japan to test themselves against some very, very solid opposition. They've only played each other like once in the last 5 years or whatever, and that was 2019 in the Rugby World Cup, where Japan actually got the win in a 19-12 victory for them. Again, nice to see some fans returning to sport in Ireland. 3,000 fans going to be at the Aviva. And for some local news for myself and Kev, there's a guy from the same county as us who could be potentially the first guy from his town in Birr to represent Ireland. Largely weakened Ireland squad here, with a huge amount of their star players away with the Lions or out injured, so could potentially make the game an awful lot closer with some returning older heads as well as some potential debutants for Ireland. But I still think they're going to take the win here, and probably by at least a try.
In the Vodafone Summer Series, we have Ireland versus Japan. Both sides have some weak points. Majority of the their Irish main players are with the Lions squad, and Japan just recently had their match there last week. So I wonder will they actually stick with their previous lineup, or do they get their previous players rested and bring up some new fresh lads. Hopefully Ireland might redeem themselves from their last meeting, which was the World Cup stage when Japan beat them. Japan would be very dominant even against the Lions, so I think they might come up with a win here against Ireland. I think it might be very close, but I think Japan might actually come with the win. I'm going to say roughly 7 points, a try score. It would actually be the margin, but again, it's going to be a very entertaining match to see.
Okay, so part two of the rugby doubleheader as the Lions kickstart their campaign in South Africa against the Lions. Slightly confusing and definitely not going in the title because that'll just look like a mess. So yeah, the British and Irish Lions versus the Emirates Lions in South Africa as their first warm-up game for the tournament. Basically, they've got a pretty straightforward warm-up game here. Hindered majorly by the loss of Alan Wynne-Jones, their captain, who's now been replaced by Conor Murray, as well as losing Justin Tipuric. The Lions finished bottom of the Pro 14, so not a hugely successful franchise team right now, so should be a pretty rudimentary victory for the Lions of the North. Tour turning into a little bit of a mess, heavy cases in the area they're travelling into. Not the nicest and most pleasant of scenarios for the guys travelling over, but I still think they get the job done here, and pretty convincing win as they gear up for the tour proper.
In the Lions' first warm-up game in South Africa, we have the Lions versus the Emirates Lions. British and Irish Lions came up with a win against Japan. It was a tough side, but they managed to win 28-10. I'm going to say a win for the British and Irish Lions, as the Emirates Lions have not been doing that well in their last season particularly. So I would give them the win. I would even give them a 3-try win, to be honest. And they seem very dominant, and the squad probably a very decent squad from the Welsh and from the English side. But yeah, it's definitely to be watched.
Okay, rounding up this week, once again, I am torturing Kev with more cricket as we look at the Roses game as Yorkshire take on Lancashire in the Vitality Blast. Huge sporting rivalry, Yorkshire, Lancashire, Leeds, Manchester, the stuff. They're two franchise sides. Yorkshire considerably the stronger in theory, tied at the top of the Northern Group on 13 points, winning 6 of 10, although they did get absolutely thrashed by Warwickshire, which I was delighted for as a Warwickshire fan. Both Harry Brook and Johnny Bairstow are in the top 10 scorers in the competition so far, but, and this is a major problem for Yorkshire, they are without a huge number of their major stars in the short form of the game. Milan, Root, Rashid, David Willey, Johnny Bairstow, all the way on England duty. Roped in Mark Stoneman to be a part of the squad as he wasn't getting an awful lot of game time to make up for all the losses. Lockie Ferguson, as their overseas player, is unreal, but hasn't quite got going yet as much as they would have liked. Took a bit of a thrashing against Warwickshire as they rattled off the 86 or whatever in like 12 overs or something ridiculous. Lancashire, on the other hand, very much mixed fortunes. 6th of 9 in the group, only 3 wins. They lose both Liam Livingston and Joss Butler, so again, they are massively hindered by this England series going on right now. But they haven't lost as many as Yorkshire, which could be a major benefit. Very aligned on Alex Davies, top run scorer for them. And then Matt Parkinson with the ball has been great, 11 wickets at next to nothing. Again, Finn Allen, overseas player, hasn't been spectacular as of yet, but has been very solid, and has just been roped in for the 100 as well, which I don't know whether we'll cover or not, because I have no interest in it, except for the fact that it's cricket, and it'll be a laugh to see how badly they mess it up in the end. But yeah, back to this one anyway. I think I'm going to go with Lancashire here. Yorkshire did not look good against Warwickshire at all. Balled out for 86 and then didn't make a competitive fight of it with the ball either. I just think they're losing too many guys here to really make a major statement in this game. Lancashire are going to be very up for it, try and keep themselves relevant in the group stage. They can't risk falling much further behind than they already are. Yeah, they've lost 2 players, but I mean it's like 7 dudes out for Yorkshire. I don't think they're going to get the win here. But yeah, I'm going to think Lancashire here, and I think they might actually get this pretty convincingly in the end.
In the Cricket County Championship, we have Yorkshire versus Lancashire. A rivalry is dating back since 15th century apparently, so I was immediately intrigued by this. So we have Yorkshire, who are sitting joint top position with 6 wins, and then we have Lancashire sitting on 6th position with 3 wins. Lancashire will be losing a lot of players due to the playing with the English squad, so it'd be massive negative on their behalf. So that's why I probably go for Yorkshire on that one. Again, it's going to be very interesting to see these rivalries as it go on.
Okay, so that wraps up episode 10 of Ready for the Weekend. Let us know what you think of our predictions. We probably butchered them again. We had a pretty decent week last week. Kev took the lead on some bonus points. But yeah, I think we're tied overall right now. But drop us a comment below. Let us know what you think we should cover in the future. Ridiculous for our horrendous opinions on whatever we think is going to happen. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Probably helps, maybe, who knows. But anyway, yeah, until then, see you next time.